This is incredible!
Is it good? Yeah. I've never seen that.
Taking over Melrose Avenue tonight, shutting it down so they can hold a memorial service for a rapper shot dead.
A 21-year-old was found dead on his tour bus before a show at the Rock in central Tucson last night. Authorities say Lil Pete could have possibly overdosed.
The street shit will escalate to a point where you're not going to report.
Alright guys, today we're going to talk through setting out for a floor. As we know, setting out is a very important part of the process. If not done correctly, then it's going to look wrong, it's going to look off. So we need to pay attention whenever we're doing the setting out process. Tools that we're going to need for this task, we're going to use a straight edge. We're going to use, if you have one, you can use a floor laser level, a tape measure, a chalk line and a gauge batten. Okay, so what we're going to talk through first is how to set out for straight set. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to one end of the room and we're going to take the distance from wall to wall. We're going to mark the centre point on the floor and we're going to repeat the process at the other end. There we go. So I've got two centre lines, dead centre of the room that we're working in, because you can't always assume that your walls are square, okay? Are you good?
Yeah.
Once I've done that, I can find the centre point of this line. I'll run that tape in just a second. Now once I've found that centre point of the floor, I can either use a right angle, or in this case we're going to use a laser level. And once again, we're going to ping a chalk line. Titled? Do you want to ping it this time? Hold on, go for it. There we go. So what we've created there is a crosshair in the middle of the floor. Okay? And that's the true centre point of this floor. Next thing we're going to do is make a gauge pattern. Here's one we made earlier for a 600 by 600 tile. So we've measured the tile and we've also found the centre point. So now all I have to do, going from my centre line, I'm going to check end of the tile first, and you can see that it leaves me this size cut into the side, and that will be exactly the same at the other side of the wall if we just flip it round. Exactly the same size cut here. So that's going end of the tile. Let's check middle of the tile also. One is going to give you a more favourable outcome. So if we go middle of the tile from the centre line, as you can see, that leaves us a sliver cut left and right, so that does not work. So for this task, we would go end of a tile. So that means our cuts are going to be symmetrical left and right of the room, okay? Up and down the way, I can do the same process, starting from the centre. And as you can see, that leaves us a good cut to this end. So I'd probably go for that, okay? So for this scenario, once I'm ready to start tiling, I would set my straight edge on the floor like so. We'll go down into position. And I'll simply tile all the way out of the room, making sure that I'm on the centre line as a guide. Okay. See, earlier we found our centre point of our floor area, the true centre point. So what you could do is start a tile dead centre, measures in. There we go. Okay, and that is going to give us symmetrical cuts all the way around the room. Now, as you can see, with my gauge batten, whereas before I've done a gauge batten for laying straight set, when you're doing diamond set, make a gauge batten from point to point of the tile. Okay, and as you can see, I found the centre point as well. So now I can quickly see what kind of cuts I have around the room, and you can see here I have that size cut, so that would be a triangle, yeah? So if you imagine a triangle going like that. And also check the half point, because that'll be your second cut as well. So you're going to have a triangle, then you're going to have a larger cut. Okay? However, to make the job easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether this back wall is running square. Okay. So I've already pinged a chalk line up the length of the floor, running parallel along the wall. I can go to the top with my floor laser level. And I can measure 276, 272. So what we can see here is there's a 4 mil difference from this line to the wall and from this line to the wall, so it actually runs off by 4 millimeters. Now I've took a skirting board off this wall, so that will accommodate that difference in the wall, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do my repetitive cuts when I tile this back area, and my skirting board will cover that, okay? So I've made this job really easy for myself now. What I can actually do is I can do all my half cuts at the back and all my half cuts to the side also, making the job really easy. And obviously I'm going to check what cuts I've got to the back of the room, and more importantly, what cuts. As per usual guys, the audio is broken, and I'm just explaining here that you need to check for any cuts before you start, so you don't get any unsightly cuts around your room. So here we go guys, I've planned the room ready for tiling. I've got my first tile laid into position where I want it to go. I've got a 2 metre straight edge laying at the back, which I'm going to weigh down with a box of tiles. The chalk line running up the outside of the room is going to keep me correct, so as I tile up here, every point of the tile will land on that line. So that will tell me if I'm running off or not. It's very important that you use guidelines when you are tiling. If you don't use guidelines, then you're going to run off 100%. Okay guys, I hope that video was helpful for you. Please give us a like and subscribe. Cheers guys.
On Tuesday with your song joining us on our chart. Sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted sorrow.
possibly overbuilt.